and which has caused several power plants to trip simultaneously. Here are excerpts of the statement from GRIDCO. All right, so it says that the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GRIDCO, wishes to inform the general public that the National Interconnected Transmission System experienced power system disturbance at approximately 3 a.m. on Wednesday, 29 July 2026. The disturbance resulted in a simultaneous tripping of some generating plants across the national power system, leading to interruptions of electricity supply. GRIDCO has activated, and they are saying that it has established systems restoration procedures. Our engineers and system operators are working continuously in close collaboration with power sector stakeholders to restore power within the shortest time possible without compromising safety. At the same time, a comprehensive technical investigation has commenced to determine the precise cause of the system event. GRIDCO sincerely apologizes for the inconvenience and appreciates the patience and understanding of the public during this period. We remain fully committed to restoring supply to all affected customers as quickly and safely as possible, and will provide further updates as more information becomes available. And away from that, Jifa Bampo, manager of corporate communications at GRIDCO, says the nationwide blackout is a rare occurrence affecting the entire country, not just Accra. She explained that GRIDCO operates more than 7,000 kilometers of transmission lines and about 68 interconnected substations nationwide. According to her, the power outage was caused by system disturbance at 3 a.m. and on Wednesday, that is on Wednesday today, and engineers are working around the clock to restore electricity.
Oh, just trying to address this incident that occurred earlier at dawn.
And I can appreciate the pressure.
We're on it. It's part of the work, so
right.
We're on it.
Right. So what exactly happened? I mean, you've given us some idea, but what have you been uncovering since the issuing of this statement, which must have been around 6 a.m. thereabout? What else have you been uncovering?
So at 3:11 a.m. today, we had a system disturbance, and this led to a widespread outage across the country. So engineers have been working in the time since in an effort to restore power. So it's not just about transmission restoring power. We have to bring up the generating stations on stream, connect to them, and then do the bulk supply of power to ECG for onward distribution to consumers, domestics, businesses. So currently the work ongoing, which has been ongoing since the early dawn, has been to get the generating systems online so that we can transmit power, which is our mandate.
How badly damaged is this system we're talking about?
There is no damage. Okay. This is just a rare incident that has occurred. And because it is an unusual incident in the power system, it has to be investigated.
Right.
So simultaneously, as efforts are made to restore power, the investigations are ongoing, and so we'll have to be patient for that. But we sincerely apologize to the public for this incident that has occurred. We urge patience as we work to restore power, together with all the stakeholders in the power value chain. As soon as we are able to do that, power will be restored, and it's ongoing. I know some load had been picked from the Akunsubo Dam, but it will take us some time, and we will update the public as soon as we have more available information.
How far-reaching or widespread was this adverse effect?
I don't want to be specific in terms of the areas because I am not in the system control center, but it's been widespread enough to gain the needed response for us to issue a statement to inform the public that the reason there's this outage is because of this unusual event or incident. It's not typically the norm.
But what you can confirm, though, that this was nationwide?
Widespread, beyond Accra, certainly. Because we operate more than 7,000 kilometers of transmission lines. We have about 68 substations across the country. Many of them obviously are interconnected. That's why it's called the National Interconnected Transmission System, NITS. In simple terms, the national grid. And so if there is a major incident that impacts the grid, the fallout will be widespread. So that's what it is.
How regularly do you intend to keep us posted on what you've been doing thus far?
As soon as I have more information, we will share an updated press release. The purpose for the earlier press release at 6 a.m. was to try and as quickly as possible inform the public, because this happened at about 3:11 a.m. So we didn't want this to go beyond the time that people are leaving for work and the like. And that's why we worked quickly to try and put something out. Once there's additional updates, we'll provide it. But the engineers are working very, very hard to restore the system. We are genuinely sensitive to the needs of the country in terms or in respect of power. And so we are working hard to get the power supply up and running.
Do you smell sabotage?
No, sir. There is no.
Let's turn our attention now to the Supreme Court, as they have unanimously dismissed a suit challenging the Office of the Special Prosecutor's authority and independently initiate and then conduct prosecutions. The 7-member panel presided over Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni rejected a case filed by private legal practitioner Noah Adamte, who argued that prosecutorial powers were reserved exclusively for the Attorney General. The petitioner has asked the court to strike down provisions of the Act which grants the OSP independent authority to investigate and prosecute corruption-related offences. However, the Supreme Court dismissed the application, leaving intact the legal framework that allows the special prosecutor to prosecute cases without prior approval from the Attorney General. The ruling comes despite arguments from the Attorney General's office, where Deputy Attorney General Justice Sremsai maintained that prosecutorial authority rests solely with the Attorney General. The decision has been welcomed by civil society organizations, including Transparency International Ghana and Imani Africa, which joined the case to defend the independence of the OSP. And away from that, Chairman Wontumi has formally appealed his conviction in the high-profile Samaboy illegal mining case. He's asking the Court of Appeal to overturn the entire judgment delivered by the High Court. Let's take a look now at the 2026 mid-year budget. And Greater Accra Regional Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Anthony Nupenu, has commended Finance Minister Dr. Ato Forson for instilling discipline in Ghana's financial management, describing it as the key driver of economic stabilization.
To be able to manage crisis inherited by the John Dramani Mahama presidency, and so far all his KPIs that he has set to achieve within a year and a half, we are comfortably within that space in making sure we stay within our economic progress, in making sure that our indicators are stabilized and have ground footing to be able to revive our economic growth. That is what we need to commend him for, the discipline he has put in our financial sector to make sure that you spend what you have and just not spend anyhow, even in the face of crisis, even in the face of adversity, even in the face of disaster. We still manage within what we have to be able to be sound as a country. And last Friday, he appeared before Ghana's last Thursday, he appeared before Ghana's parliament. He really made Ghanaians to understand what really he is doing as a finance minister to be able to get the country running. As people who are within the scope of making sure we get Ghanaians out of this challenge, all we need to do is to make sure we really understand the impact of his economic progress on the nation and for the people. So for me, I'm very, very confident of his stewardship.
And in the matters of the 24-hour economy, Member of Parliament for Ododo Diodio, Alfred Nikote Ashi, has welcomed the mid-year budget review presented by the Finance Minister in Parliament, stressing that Ghana's much discussed 24-hour economy is underway, it's ongoing, and the as party members and the government, they're extremely happy with what is going on. And he's saying that the 24-hour economy secretariat is actively engaging the private sector to all be part of this.
We in the NDC, we don't rush into doing things. We believe in the P2P2P principle that proper planning prevents poor performance. So we are not in haste. It is something we have promised the people of Ghana, and we are going to do it. A lot of work have been done so far. When you go to my constituency in Ododo, when you go to Old Fadama, the Agbogboshi Enclave, we have gone to inspect the site where the 24-hour market is going to be built. Money has already been made available sitting at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Myself, the mayor, and all the stakeholders, including the contractor, have gone to the site to go and see where we are going to do the development. We are displacing a few wooden temporary structures so that we will start. Several other constituencies or districts in the country are doing same. In some areas, work has already started. And that is just one phase of it. There are several other phases that we are putting together. And when we leapfrog, you will see the shine. We have assured Ghanaians that they will do the 24-hour economy, and we will do it.
Away from that, President John Dramani Mahama and the Gabonese President Brice Nguema reaffirmed their commitment between Ghana and Gabon and signing an MOU, a series of memorandum of understanding following bilateral talks at the Jubilee House. President Nguema began a 3-day state visit to Ghana. Shadrach Odame Ejari, my colleague, has this report.
Ghana and Gabon have reaffirmed their commitment to deepening bilateral relations as Gabon's President Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema has begun a 3-day visit to Ghana. President Nguema was received by President John Dramani Mahama and senior government officials before paying homage to Ghana's founding president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. He laid a wreath, observed a moment of prayer at the mausoleum, and toured the memorial gallery. The Gabonese leader later received a ceremonial welcome and guard of honor at the Jubilee House before both leaders held bilateral talks aimed at strengthening cooperation in key sectors.
Trade and investment must remain central to this agenda. We should encourage stronger partnership between our private sectors. We should facilitate investment flows and create an enabling environment for businesses in both countries to collaborate in the areas of manufacturing, agribusiness, transport and logistics, infrastructure development, financial services, and value addition.
The discussions focused on expanding trade and investment, mining, agriculture, education, maritime security, climate action, and regional integration. The talks culminated in the signing of several memoranda of understanding designed to enhance cooperation between the two countries. President John Dramani Mahama said the agreements build on more than 6 decades of friendship and a shared commitment to Pan-African development.
Dear brother, I'd like to express my gratitude for your active participation during the G7 Plus in the Gulf of Guinea in 2026. May our countries who have the opportunity to beside these meetings, we are looking forward to receive you in Libreville in 2026.
The two leaders also underscored the importance of African-led solutions to regional challenges, with both countries pledging to work together to advance economic transformation, peace, and integration across the continent. Shadrach Odame Ejari, Metro News, Accra.
And away from Ghana-Gabon relations, and the Youth Employment Agency, through its labor exchange program, has rolled out a nationwide labor migration readiness campaign to prepare Ghanaian youth for safe, ethical, and regulated international employment. Speaking at the launch, the Minister of Employment and Labor, Dr. Abdul Rashid Popo, has emphasized that job creation for the youth remains a central part of the government decision.
The campaign seeks to prepare young Ghanaians for safe, regular and ethical international employment, while officially commencing a nationwide outreach across all 16 regions and 276 MMDAs. Speaking at the event, Minister of Employment and Labor, Dr. Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpo, noted that while domestic opportunities are expanding, international labor mobility offers skilled Ghanaians additional avenues to secure jobs, acquire new skills, and contribute to national development. The minister described the partnership with YEA as proof of government's commitment to ensuring migration occurs through safe, ethical, and regulated pathways.
The collaboration demonstrates our shared commitment to expanding direct employment opportunities for Ghanaians and especially Ghanaian youth, while ensuring that international labor mobility is undertaken through safe, ethical, and regulated pathways.
The Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opariado, underscored the protective value of the campaign, describing it as more than sensitization.
The problem you have is a problem we can help you solve. You want the labor. We have the young men and women that are willing and able to work. But you have your standards. And so what we can do, and currently I know we are working with you on a program where we can help improve the standards locally.
On his part, the Chief Executive Officer of YEA, Malik Basentali, explained that the campaign is designed to address practical challenges faced by young people aspiring to work abroad. He cited cases where candidates lacked basic technical know-how or confidence, stressing that the initiative will upskill youth and sensitize them on legal migration opportunities.
The labor exchange program, as introduced by His Excellency the President, had come into force to bridge the gap between a young man in search of greener pastures and the right channel to which that person could be taken out of this country and could take advantage of whatever opportunities are available to him or her. As many of you rightly know, there are people who come into the country in search of greener pastures. And so let it not be said anywhere that it is only the Ghanaian man who is interested in going out there in search of greener pastures.
The Labour Migration Readiness Campaign is expected to serve as a platform for empowering Ghanaian youth with the knowledge and skills needed to pursue overseas opportunities responsibly while safeguarding their welfare and dignity.
Let's take a look now at the former Chief of Staff on Corruption. Akosia Freeman Osei Opari, and she has called for stricter enforcement of the country's existing anti-corruption laws rather than the passage of new ones. Describing corruption as an endemic burden on the country, she explained that anti-corruption laws went through rigorous processes, including academic and civil society input. She was speaking at a forum dubbed Time with Politician Forum, organized by the Conrad Adenoa Think Tank, Ghana, and the Department of Political Science at the University of Ghana.
Former Chief of Staff Osei Opari's core message to the next generation was clear: drop the expectation of immediate comfort and substitute it with relentless hard work. Drawing directly from her own career as an MP and the nation's first female Chief of Staff, she emphasized that true political impact requires a distinct personal agenda, one rooted in service rather than status.
My life has been hard work, have belief in something and pursue it to the best of my ability, and not in comfort always. Lots of times, lots of the work I've done was very uncomfortable, but I believed in it. And I know that the path to success is not a smooth one. And that's how I reached where I am today.
Head of the Political Science Department, Professor Wusu Mensah, re-echoed that success requires an objective, step-by-step approach to education, paired with a foundational ability to work collaboratively with diverse groups of people.
What are the lessons, what are the experiences they have acquired, what are the opportunities that they got while they were serving Mother Ghana? That's the purpose of organizing this program. So the program, Time with Politicians, provide a platform whereby they come and share this information for us. And then we also have the opportunity to quiz them, ask them questions about issues that we do not understand that confronted them while they were in government or while they were serving the people of Ghana. So far, they give a lot of advice to students about different things they are supposed to do, different things they should do. If they want to cut a part in politics, if they want to cut a part in different perspectives in life, they want to cut a part in other professions, they're giving a lot of advice. And one advice that all of them keep emphasizing is that you must take your studies seriously, and you must do one thing at a time, a step at a time. You must not rush, and you must have objective, and you must prepare to work with people. All this team has passed through all of them. They speak about that.
Dubbed Time with the Politician, the third edition of the interactive forum centered on diverse issues ranging from public leadership and development, among other things, formed part of efforts to create a platform for students of political science to interact with experienced political leaders.
In tax mobilization, the Minority Caucus in Parliament has rejected 2 new digital revenue platforms approved by the majority, warning that they would impose double VAT when it comes to online purchases and introduce what they describe as a social media tax. Addressing the media, Member of Parliament for Tano North, Gideon Boako, argued that the measure risks double taxation affecting students ordering textbooks abroad, e-commerce shopping, and then also buying goods from Asia and then South America, and subscribers to digital services such as Netflix.
The Ghana government is also going to apply VAT on the product or the goods that you have bought. So in effect, you are paying 2 VATs, and that becomes double taxation. We've asked the government at the committee level to explain to us how it is going to mitigate the risk of double taxation. That answer is not forthcoming. It doesn't apply just to students. It also applies to our sisters and brothers at the universities elsewhere who are doing e-commerce, who are ordering hair from Thailand, who are ordering hair from Brazil, who are ordering items from China, elsewhere. Any transaction that you make henceforth, once this one is approved, you're going to pay VAT on that. And as I've told you, there's a risk of double VAT that will be applied to you. It doesn't just apply to online cross-border transactions. It applies to digital transactions as well. So those of you who are champions and lovers of movies, and you are always eager to go to Netflix to watch movies, any transaction that you make with Netflix, you are going to pay VAT on that. So if you're a young guy and you use movies to kind of whet your appetite and enjoy yourselves, this government is going to make it expensive for you henceforth. These are the issues that we are raising. If you use Starlink for your internet services, you are going to pay VAT on that. This is a government who said betting tax was not good and abolished the betting tax for populist reasons, but today is introducing social media tax. Because this thing we are talking about is nothing but social media tax, such that any transactions that you do, you're going to pay VAT on that. I stand to be corrected, but I want to hazard the thought that it is likely that even if you boost your video, you're a TikToker, you're a blogger or whoever, and you boost your video or picture or anything on Instagram, on Facebook or Twitter, on TikTok, government is going to charge you for that. So the younger generation of this country should pay attention to that.
Let's turn our attention now to marketing Ghana's gold. As Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakufibua, has taken the campaign to make Ghana an exciting destination for mining business in Africa to China. His first stop was in Hong Kong, considered as the international financial center of China, where he had the opportunity to engage private investors and leadership of the Hong Kong Gold Exchange.
Hong Kong Gold Exchange was established in 2025 through the corporatized restructuring of the Chinese Gold and Silver Exchange Society, a historic institution with over 115 years of legacy. Officially launched on January 1, 2025, Hong Kong Gold Exchange marks a new chapter in China's precious metals industry. The Hong Kong Exchange remains committed to unlocking the value of gold while serving the local markets with integrity, transparency, and excellent service. As part of its relentless efforts to improve Ghana's mining industry and its benefits to Ghanaians, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources visited the Hong Kong Gold Exchange Center. It formed part of his visit to China to engage high-profile institutions and businesses. Speaking at a meeting with captains of the gold industry in Hong Kong, the minister explained that the center remains the sole spot for gold and silver exchange, which attracts Ghana's interest.
Hong Kong minister are responsible for a more gold sector. And Ghana a gold producer, in fact the largest gold producer of Africa. And I buy a program, I buy a gold reserve program. Yes, good. Yeah, you too improve. A quamben a faswa, a bay and faswa, a mine. Nayadia, you two, ya near the cop. Nayangasa, ya betobi. Na abwa.
The CEO of Minerals Commission, Isaac Tando, who accompanied the minister, explained the trajectory of Ghana's mining industry and gold production.
Said the minister, Ambassador, His Excellency Di Kankai, I'm sir, Osha assembly now for now, I'm saying, Yeshua, baby, but your name, Baku, you be association near the 2 years, and to the minister, Ambassador, Yaji to me say, young far working group, and I say, a cookie to a beer, move it to me, I shall say, near market and getting a situation near the 2 and say, I could in our Sadiana,
Ghana's ambassador to China, Ambassador Kujabunsu, who led the delegation to the various meetings, also had this to say.
I think it's going to be a win-win situation for Ghana. Why am I saying so? Somebody's hiding your gold for you or storing your gold for you. You're not paying rent, you're not paying transportation fee, you're not paying storage, you're not paying insurance, you're not paying the bullion move. So I call it a win-win situation.
The Hong Kong Gold Exchange is currently formed by 147 exchange shareholder members and offers comprehensive facilities, services and trading platform for participants in precious metals trading. The exchange has experienced significant growth with daily trading volumes reaching hundreds of billions of Hong Kong dollars.
And away from that, heads of operations at leading educational testing firm GBAT Assessment, Emmanuel Janney, has urged students in the country to use AI tools effectively to enhance their studies. And he kept on saying that he was speaking actually at the maiden graduation and award ceremony at the Oak Community School in Tema Community 25.
Celebrate the school's 2026 graduating class made up of 10 kindergarten pupils, 6 primary 6 pupils and 4 junior high school students. The ceremony brought together pupils, teachers, parents and well-wishers with performances from students throughout the day. Principal of Oak Community School said the school has combined the Ghana Education Service curriculum with the Cambridge curriculum as part of its next phase of development.
It's important to embrace technology. We are in a world now that we are being surrounded by technology and also artificial intelligence. Many use it for just entertainment, which is fair enough. But as much as you can use it for your educational purpose, it will be very effective and will have a way to benefit your life.
Guest of honor at the ceremony, an educationist, Emmanuel Janney, urged the school to embrace technology and AI to enhance teaching and learning.
We are into ballet, taekwondo, STEM, robotics and coding. With our curriculum in terms of educational, we are doing Miss Hybrid, which is a little bit advanced than normal GS. So we welcome all parents to come on board. We are located within Tema Community 25. Thank you very much.
And Bridget Asante Ade, a GHS graduate, reflected on her time at the school.
The teachers and the education system has changed the way I will go to see the rest of my education, and because of that, I want to thank the teachers and the management, and especially the owner of the school, Mr. George Anderson, and the teachers who have inspired me and pushed me to strive for better.
So Ghana has renewed calls for greater investment in its young population as the country commemorated the 2026 World Population Day in Accra. Stakeholders say empowering young people with quality education, skills, healthcare and employment opportunities is critical to unlocking the country's demographic dividend and also driving sustainable national development.
The National Population Council, in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund and other partners, marked this year's World Population Day under the theme, Investing in Ghana's Future Through Healthy, Skilled and Empowered Young People. Delivering the keynote address, the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opariado, stressed that policymakers must create an environment where young people make life choices based on opportunity rather than poverty.
Our responsibility as policymakers is therefore to create the conditions that allow young people to make these choices freely, not because poverty compels them, but because opportunity empowers them to make these resolute decisions. Mr. Chairman, we cannot discuss population without discussing jobs. Every conversation about fertility, migration, urbanization, family well-being, or social stability eventually comes back to one issue, and the issue is about employment, looking for decent and sustainable jobs for our young people.
Chairperson for the occasion and Deputy Council Chair of the National Population Council, Dr. Nii Akwe Ado said, Ghana's youthful population presents a unique opportunity for accelerated economic growth.
This youthful population structure can translate into Ghana's demographic dividend, a period of accelerated economic growth driven by a large, healthy, productive working age population. Handled poorly or left to chance, the same youth board becomes a missed opportunity and in the worst case, a source of social and economic strain.
A senior population officer, Mavis Agbebo, underscored the need to back the aspiration of young people with deliberate investment and expanded opportunities.
Our national theme, investing in Ghana's future through healthy, skilled and empowered young people, takes this responsibility a step further. It reminds us that aspiration must be matched by deliberate investment and opportunity. Ghana is a useful country. Approximately 12 million Ghanaians are between the ages of 15 and 35, representing about 38% of our population. This presents an enormous opportunity for our country. Both a youthful population does not automatically produce a demographic dividend. The demographic dividend must be earned.
For Metro News, Vanessa Edotumbuating, Accra.
Let's take a look now at health as the Minister for Health, Kwabena Mintah Akando, has reaffirmed government's commitment to building a resilient pharmaceutical industry which is capable of meeting Ghana's growing healthcare needs while reducing dependence on imported medicines. He was speaking at the PMAG Day 2026 conference held in Accra.
The Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana Day Conference saw industry players, policymakers and development partners gather to discuss the future of local pharmaceutical manufacturing. Addressing the conference, the Minister of Health says government's commitment to the regular payment of national health insurance claims and prudent economic management is helping to protect pharmaceutical manufacturers and suppliers from foreign exchange losses caused by delayed payments. He announced that Ghana is making steady progress towards local vaccine production.
National Health Insurance Authority is paying claims regularly, with the most recent payment made on 30th June 2026. This improves the cash flow of healthcare providers and strengthens their ability to meet their obligations to pharmaceutical and other suppliers. 2025 arrangements are also progressing towards the production of the tetanus diphtheria vaccine through an international technology partnership.
The presidential advisor on the 24-hour economy, Gusi Tano, called on pharmaceutical manufacturers to seize opportunities under the government's 24-hour economy program to transform Ghana into a leading pharmaceutical manufacturing hub in West Africa.
Government cannot build this industry alone. Neither can PMAG, universities, regulators, development partners or investors. Success will require partnership. The 24-hour economy brings these partners together around one objective: building a globally competitive pharmaceutical ecosystem.
Executive Chairman of Tobinco Group of Companies and President of PMAG, Dr. Samuel Tobin, called on governments for consistent policies to enhance Ghanaian-made medicines.
We respectfully call on government for consistent policy, affordable financing, tax incentives, and stronger local procurement of Ghana-made medicines.
PMAG Day 2026 saw the exhibition of pharmaceutical products by various pharmaceutical companies in Ghana.
And still on health, the Office of the Member of Parliament for the Whole West constituency, in collaboration with Ghana Medical Relief from the United States and Canada, has begun a 5-day free medical outreach for residents of the whole district and surrounding communities in the Volta region. The free medical outreach is expected to benefit approximately 15,000 people across the whole West District and neighboring communities. The outreach offers free consultations, laboratory tests, eye screening, dental care, health education, and treatment for a wide range of medical conditions. Speaking at the opening ceremony at Chito, the Volta Regional Minister James Gunu commended the Member of Parliament and the medical team for the initiative. He described access to healthcare as one of the greatest expressions of love, compassion, and social responsibility.
Healthcare is one of the greatest expressions of love and solidarity. It's good health and well-being, which calls for ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all people at all ages.
The Member of Parliament for Whole West, Emmanuel Kwesi Bezra, explained that the medical outreach forms part of his campaign promise and continuous commitment to improving the welfare of the people of the constituency.
The rationale behind this is that every year we do quarterly medical outreach done by my NGO called KEB Health Foundation. KEB Health Foundation is made up of all the nurses, doctors, physician assistants, all those who have paid their fees, and they've turned out and they are working. They decided to form a group to give back to society as a result of what their MP has done for them.
The team leader of Ghana Medical Relief, Dr. Samuel Wusu, said the organization's mission is to promote healthier communities by bringing quality healthcare directly to the doorsteps of undeserved populations.
The biggest part of our program is screening, but among screening comes other services. For instance, we have medical services, we have obstetrics, gynecology, urology, dentistry, ENT, psychiatry, as well as wound care.
The 5-day exercise is expected to significantly improve healthcare access in the whole West District while reinforcing the importance of preventive healthcare. And away from that, the Ewutu Senya East Municipal Assembly has commissioned 3 refuse collection sites in Kasoa as part of efforts to tackle indiscriminate waste disposal and improve environmental sanitation across the municipality. The newly established refuse collection sites are located within the Central Business District, Obum Road and the New Market Road. The initiative is aimed at addressing the long-standing sanitation challenges that have plagued the municipality and promoting proper waste management among residents and businesses. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, the municipal chief executive for Ewutu Senya East, Sewonyu Banini, said the project forms part of the Assembly's broader strategy to restore cleanliness in Kasoa. He appealed to residents and traders to make good use of the refuse containers and support efforts to maintain a clean environment. The MCE also warned that individuals who continue to dump refuse indiscriminately will face sanctions under the Assembly's sanitation bylaws, stressing that authorities will strictly enforce the regulations to safeguard public health.
Very well. You could see that we were deliberate about the design of this to create a place that would house attendants at any point in time. The work of the attendant is to make sure that one, they keep the place clean. He's the one standing beside me. This is one of the attendants. They keep the place clean. They also help the residents that come in here.
The Central Regional Environmental Health Officer, Togui Nyaso Abebio, commended the Assembly for the intervention, describing it as a major boost to environmental sanitation in the municipality. He encouraged residents to adopt proper waste disposal practices and called on communities to protect the refuse containers from misuse and vandalism.
I want to use this opportunity to commend our Honorable Chief Executive and his team. I know the MP is also very strongly connected to these achievements. It is a great achievement.
The Assembly says it would continue implementing measures to improve sanitation while enforcing its bylaws to ensure a cleaner and healthier Kasoa for all. And that's it for the immediate news. Thank you very much for joining us. Continue to watch the rest of our programs. My name is Nana Kwesi Kwetia. Good afternoon, Ghana. Continues after the break.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Chaco toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Chaco toothpaste. Kel Chaco toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Tacos natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man is swing, Nesasu Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Taco toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
We're kicking your year off
in all her glory
with more, because we got you. You get it? You know that. We got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone, with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Good day, fellow Ghanaians. Dr. Adelaide Arobasiajafon is my name, Executive Director of the Jospon Group of Companies and the CEO of the African Agribusiness Consortium. By the grace of God, after several years of contributing significantly to Ghana's sanitation and waste management transformation, the Jospon Group made another bold decision a few years ago to support the transformation of Ghana's agriculture sector. As we became more involved in the agriculture sector, we realized that although Ghana has enormous agricultural potential, transforming the sector would require the active participation of a new generation of skilled and passionate young people. That is why, in partnership with the People's Friendship University of Russia, Rodin University, we sponsored 118 young Ghanaians to pursue postgraduate studies in agriculture and environmental sciences. Our goal was to prepare young professionals who will help drive Ghana's agricultural transformation. In about 2 weeks' time, these graduates will return home. They are coming back with knowledge, skills, and fresh ideas, and we are proud to welcome them home. I believe their success will not only benefit as individuals, but will also contribute to the growth of our agriculture sector and the development of our country. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the People's Friendship University of Russia, Rodin University, for being a valued partner in this journey, and to the Embassy of Ghana in the Russia Federation for its unwavering support and commitment to the welfare of our students throughout their studies. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference, Wahuni Diema on Maini Tumpong.
What God has prepared for this moment cannot be put into words. Greater Works 2026, a heavenly invasion of God's glory and power. Speaking, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Mike Okonko, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and our conference host, Pastor Mensa Otabil. Date, Monday the 3rd of August to Friday the 7th of August 2026. Morning sessions, Tuesday to Friday. Time, 9 a.m. Evening sessions, Monday to Friday. Time, 5 p.m. each night. Venue, ICGC Christ Temple East. Special song ministrations by Joe Metal, Once More 6, Nathaniel Bassi, Dunsin Oyekan, and ICGC Mass Choirs and Dramatic Arts. Closing the conference is an extended praise night on Friday the 7th of August. Buses will be available at strategic locations across the city, providing convenient transport to and from the venue. For more details, visit gwcentral.org. Greater Works 2026. It's coming down.
Right, welcome back from the break. This is Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV with me, Desmond Okrekudanso. Nana Kwesikweti brought us the news updates, and I'm here till 2 p.m. where we'll be discussing a number of stories making the headlines for today, and we're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, also on DSTV channel 277. You can watch us live on there. So before we get into all the current happenings in terms of what's happening at Valco, we have a conversation with the CEO of GIADE coming up on the show, and also the Supreme Court's ruling earlier today. We'll get into all of those conversations, but we'll play that for you, and that is what we'll be talking about now, because it is almost here, and I am excited about it because I'm a church member of the ICGC. Good afternoon to my pastor, Reverend President Ketia of Eagles Temple, Bawe. And so Reverend Rita Ampofo has joined me in studio for us to talk about Greater Works at 2026, and she's from ICGC Hosanna Temple. And as you know, every year it's big, and this year, well, I'll leave her to do all the talking. Reverend, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Greater Works 2026.
Yeah.
Every year is special. I know there's a lot going on. I mean, with the fasting, all of those things towards the very end. How's it been? I can see you're
It's been, yeah. I mean, it's been very demanding on everybody and yourself, I guess, if you are still with us. So yeah, I mean, we are just getting ready for the outpouring of God's power over us.
Right. Fantastic. And for many people, they may have heard or they'll see this on radio or social media, Greater Works. What really is the vision? What's this about?
Right, so Greater Works Conference is an annual convocation of the International Central Gospel Church, of course under the leadership of Pastor Mensa Otabil.
Right.
And it started in 1987 with a decent number of people, you know, but over the years it has grown to become something big that has become international, drawing people who are members of the church and the Christian community worldwide. And we began it with our 40 days of power, fasting, and prayer. Today is day number 35.
I'm trying to ask you whether...
I know Friday was 30. Friday I was in church.
Okay.
Yes.
So today is day number 35. So we have 5 more days to end, and then Greater Works starts just when we are ending the 40 days of power. And Greater Works is premised on Jesus' words in John 14:12.
Right.
He said that those who believe in him will do greater works and greater than he has done. And so the conference is packaged to equip everyone who attends with the requisite knowledge, skill, instruction, direction to be able to execute that mandate that Jesus gave us. And so that is what we seek to do at Greater Works Conference.
So it's been happening every year. What's the story, from, so we're in 2026, that's what we're getting to. 2025, when it's done, the blessings that come from that, what goes into the next year's preparation?
A lot. A lot. Greater Works, the preparation for Greater Works doesn't start late. Right after we are done with this, the next preparation starts, because we believe in excellence. We believe in giving God's people the best. And so we allow ourselves to be led of God, to be diligent, and to think through everything that we do there, from the minutest detail. We do not gloss over everything. So there is intense preparation, prayer, diligence, and making sure that what we give out to God's people is excellent. We are believers, and if any people must have the best, it should be the church, and that is what we seek to do.
Right, and what a way to crown it all with that amazing lineup of ministers who will be blessing us.
Yes.
Let me leave you to mention them and tell us who
I
is
wish
coming.
you would do that because you're a member of the church, but let me do that on your behalf.
Yes, please do
Hopefully
that.
after the program, you pay me for doing it for you. All right, so we believe that the people, the ministers that God brings to us should have what it takes to give us an understanding of where we are supposed to head, premised on the words of Jesus Christ. And so this year, we are gathering people who are very knowledgeable, who are led, who have very deep perspectives of what it means to walk this mandate. And so from the 3rd, which is coming Monday, we would be having Bishop Tudor Bismarck from Zimbabwe. We will also have Bishop Mike Okonkwo coming from Nigeria. We will have Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, and then Pastor Paul Ade Farasin. And then we would also have our conference host, Pastor Mensa Otabil, ministering and bringing God's word to direct us, to shape us. And for what it is, Greater Works is not just about, just being a spiritual person.
Right.
It brings leadership perspectives for you, wisdom for what you need to do. And so for everyone who comes, they should be ready to receive, because you will not just become useful in church, you are going to be able to expand your vision, to be able to live a full life and become the light of the world that Jesus wants us to be.
And definitely that's what we see from the leader of the church, Pastor Mensa Otabil, with the years that he's had in leadership, leading the church, and what it has come. Now you have to be there to be part of this and learn from all the amazing speakers who will be coming for this program. So with that, then we'll do the music.
Yes, it's been preparation started 3 months ago.
Okay.
Because apart from our guest music ministers, including Pastor Nathaniel Bassi, Minister Dunsin Oyeka, and Minister Joe Mettle, and this year we've added once more 6 an anointed minister from South Africa. There are also the ICDC choirs that have prepared for 3 months straight a lot of contemporary music, just to help us, set the atmosphere right, to receive and to get our hearts prepared for the outpouring, because in Greater we say it's coming down, and then it just doesn't come down. It comes down because we prepare the atmosphere for that. So that is what's going to happen. We have a myriad of ministrations that would bless every heart that is present at Greater Works Conference. Okay,
so with all of these ministers, as we mentioned to you, you definitely know that you have to be there. The truth is that if you don't come, you see all the visuals on social media and you regret to not coming, because my choir is going to be there. Eagles Temple Choir. We are there. I'm a member of the choir, but it's been a while.
Pastor Priscilla, please. I'm giving him off.
Reverend, please don't do this to me. So for everybody who is watching and wants to be there, is there any arrangement? So on the screen there you see the ministers who will be serving us with the word of God, teaching us, the teachings of the Bible, in the leadership, that we need to understand. These great men will be doing that for us, and then we'd have the music. I said to Minister Nathaniel Bansi, the Joe Metal, the Once Is More there, and also Dunsin Oyekan, also there to minister to us, and also all the ICGC Mass Choir also be ministering to us. So, busing arrangements for it?
Well, when you go to www.gwcentral.org, there is a comprehensive website.
Okay.
If you need busing, accommodation, if you are not around, there is an avenue for you to seek that. For the busing arrangement, every place you are in Accra, there is a possibility that there's a bus near you. And so we encourage everyone, go to gwcentral.org, find a bus close to you, and then it can bring you to Christ Temple East, where the conference is taking place, or you could also order a boat ride at 45% discount to get you to the venue and back to your house.
Okay, so, we've thought about you, and we know that you want to be there. So all of these arrangements have been made so that you can be part of this. Now, with such an event, a lot of people will be coming around. We're spending a lot in there. For someone who is attending this program for the first time, how would you encourage them to prepare themselves, to receive all that? Of course, the understanding is this is not a fun fair. This is a spiritual exercise. Yeah. So if you're coming, you need to drench yourself, get yourself into that mood to receive the blessings of the Lord. What would you say, Reverend?
Yes, we have been waiting on the Lord. We are doing it for 40 days, which will start on the Monday of Greater Works. And this is because we believe that when we gather in God's presence, there is a lot of freshness that comes from God. And so for whoever is going to be attending for the first time, I'll beseech the person to prepare their hearts. Prepare your hearts by telling God, Lord, I want to hear you. I want to meet you. Maybe you need him to intervene, okay? Everyone needs God's intervention at one point or the other. And so I would encourage you, prepare your hearts, get ready. Last 5 days, you can join us in the fast, please do.
Right.
Because there is a power that is available to us when we fast and pray, waiting on the Lord. Not just the strength that you receive, but divine instruction, very on point instructions that would help you to navigate the next season of your life, because it is not going to be by might or by power, but by the Spirit of the Lord.
That is in Zechariah 4. Now and there, I know that. Reverend, as we wrap up, any other thing you want to touch on before we go? Because I'm getting messages from ICGC members.
All right.
in this building that I should give
ICGC members is coming down, and to everyone who is watching or listening, the time we've been waiting for is here, and nobody waits on the Lord and the Lord doesn't show up. And when he shows up big. We are getting ready, and we invite you, every one of you and your family, your friends. Greater Works is for everybody. It's a free conference. But then what you have, it will be worth more than, whatever you would be able to put in. And so we want to invite every one of you. There is going to be powerful ministrations that will bring you a word in season to help you in leadership, in career, in profession, whatever be the aspect of your life that you need a message for. There is something for you at Greater Works Conference. Come ready to be transformed, because there is going to be the power that's going to hit you to show you where the next move has to be, and you can't be left out of it. Know that Greater Works will start on the 3rd, Monday coming.
Monday.
To the 7th.
Yes.
Morning sessions are at 9 a.m. starting on Tuesday morning, but the evening session starts on Monday night. All the way through. On a Monday night, we are going to have a communion service. You can't miss that. On Friday, as we end, there's an anointing service that will empower you to do greater than you've ever done in your life. It's at ICGC Christ Temple East at Teshin. Go to gwcentral.org for busing arrangement, and also you could take advantage of the 45% discount on boats for your advantage. And We look forward to seeing you. The grounds are prepared, the heavens are ready, and it's about to rain on us, and you should not be left out.
And we say it's coming down, so you need to be there to be part of this, Reverend. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us the activities lined up for Greater Works 2026. Reverend Rita Ampofo is with ICGC Hosanna Temple. Thank you very much, Reverend, for coming in. And with the so my producer said, shout out to my pastor too, Reverend Laurie J, ICGC Recovery Temple, Kaswa.
Shout out my pastor too, Reverend Kofi Esiedu of ICGC Hosanna Temple. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Reverend Rita Ampofo. We're getting into our next conversation, and this conversation is about what's happening at Valco. You remember that on Monday, news went right that there was some sort of a demonstration at Valco by some of the workers there. And let's take a look at that report. When we come back, we're speaking to the acting CEO of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, GIADEC. Stay with us.
Intervene decisively to halt the proposed sale of Valco and ensure that this strategic national asset remains under the ownership and control of the people of Ghana. I say it should be under the control of the people of Ghana.
In good faith, we will send this message across, and I want to reassure you that this is a listening government and that no matter what, you must keep faith in the good intentions and the resolve to reset, not only reset the nation, but to ensure jobs, prosperity, and economic viability for all Ghanaians.
Hundreds of workers clad in red marched through the principal street of Tama on Monday, demanding an immediate halt to the reported sale of a 70% stake in Valco to ARC Holdings Consortium. The peaceful demonstration, which started from the Valco clubhouse under heavy police security, followed a formal protest by the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, warning of a nationwide industrial action if the transactions proceed.
To our concerns remain unaddressed. Within the shortest possible time, the union will have no option but to consult its appropriate structures and determine the next course of action. Such action, if deemed necessary, will assume a national character.
The union further warned that if its concerns are ignored, it will consult its national structures to determine the next phase of industrial action. Receiving the petition on behalf of government, Tema Metropolitan Chief Executive Ibi Bright commended the workers for conducting a peaceful demonstration and assured them the petition would be forwarded to President John Dramani Mahama for consideration.
This is for the Ghanaian and for the state. So in good faith, we will send this message across. And I want to reassure you that this is a listening government and that no matter what, you must keep faith in the good intentions and the resolve to reset not only.
Right, so that's what happened on Monday. And we have the acting CEO, Randolph Chumesi-Ankra, join us on Zoom to talk about this, to help us understand what exactly is happening there. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your time here on the program. Well, the report as we just played on Monday, we saw that, but there was a statement that was released by your office saying that it is not like that. There's no situation like that, that the company Valco is being sold to Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. What exactly is the truth in this? Share with us, please.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Ankra, I can hear you. If you could put on your camera so we can see you, if that's okay.
All right, let me just position myself well and then put on the camera, because, okay, sorry.
Right, so we'll be speaking to Randolph Chumesi.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Great, I can see you now. Thank you so much for that. So I was asking, what really is happening? Because your workers seem not to be happy.
Well, there's nothing really happening. The government is embarking on a restructuring of an entity, of a company that the government has taken the position is not running as it's supposed to be. And that is entirely the prerogative of government, because government is the sole owner of that entity. So the government, upon consultation, advice, and review of documents for almost a decade, and observing the state of affairs for almost a decade, has taken the view that the option of going into equity seeding to bring on private partner, private equity, private capital, shared ownership is the best way to turn VACO around. And that is what government has decided to do and is doing. So in such situations, the expectation will be that there will be some agitations from workers on the basis that they want to be assured of job security.
Okay.
Which obviously is a reasonable expectation. But in this particular case, you notice that the workers and the video that you played have gone beyond job security to dictate and tell government what it should do and what it shouldn't do. That they will not agree for government to cede part of ownership to any private investor. That, I think, is crossing the line. And with all due respect, that is not the position, that is not for the workers to say. What the workers are supposed to be interested in is job security. And that the government has repeatedly said through JADEC in several press releases that there will be no job losses. And so long as government has given commitment that there will be no job losses, I think that is where the conversation ends.
Okay.
And then we move into looking at the actuals, the rationale behind government's decision, whether it is legitimate, whether it is reasonable, whether it is commercially logical to take that step.
Okay,
that is what we should be looking at.
Mr. Ankra, I want to understand, what is the situation at VALCO now? Is it, doing well? Is it struggling? That is why this move to bring in a private investor is necessary. What's it looking like at VALCO?
So, my brother, anybody who wants to be, who is in VALCO now, works at VALCO, has followed VALCO, has any dealings with VALCO. In fact, I watched on TV some of the workers who were interviewed have even said that they need an investor. That is from the VALCO workers themselves. That the situation persisting now requires assistance, requires capital injection, requires a partnership, and that they cannot, without that capital injection, private equity coming in, they will not be able to even get the funding to do that. And you see, what we have to understand is that VALCO is a company wholly owned by government through JADEC. As a company, it is supposed to bring in profits. The profit is not coming. It has been the case for some time now. You see, this decision is not a decision that was just taken by under His Excellency John Dramani Mahamat's government. It's a decision that has been taken, that has been ongoing since 2008. A minute, please.
Right. So, Randolph Chuesi Ankra.
Yes. So let me just continue.
Okay.
It's a decision that has been.
Please go ahead.
It's a decision that has been on the table for almost 20 years. Governments in and government out have been trying to turn VALCO around. In fact, under the erstwhile NPP government, it went as far as cabinet. Cabinet gave approval for JADEC to go and look for an equity investor in VALCO. NDC, His Excellency came into office, John Dramani Mahama came to office, we studied the records, we looked at the situation, and it was advised that we continue with that process because that is the most viable option among the options that were given to be able to bring in capital at very minimal cost to the state. So here, let's just put things in perspective. When we talk of an equity investor, my brother, let me just, if I can use you as an example, let's say you own a company, 100%, right? Your company is not going well as you want it to go. So a friend approaches you and says, you know what, I know your company is struggling. I know you need a minimum of 50,000 cedis. I can give you the 50,000 cedis in exchange for 30% of your interest. In that situation, you become 70% owner, the person becomes a co-owner. You don't lose your stake in the company. Then what happens is that because the person took equity, you are not supposed to pay the person back. That money becomes a person's injection.
Okay.
Then aside that, if the company fails, the person falls with you. He cannot claim the money from anybody because he has become a part owner. But if the company succeeds, then he can share in the benefits together with you. So this fixation on control instead of focusing on growth is baffling, because the focus should be on how we grow VALCO, not how we control VALCO.
If you're looking for an investor, in this case, as you are, what are you looking to get from the person?
So what we are looking to get from the investor is, one, capital injection.
Okay.
Two,
of how much?
Expertise. We are looking at a minimum of $600 million. See, what you have to understand is that VALCO has a capacity of 200,000 to produce 200,000 metric tons of aluminium. As the situation as we have it now is that we are not able to do that, and it's been the case for a very long time. So we are bringing in investors, and everybody who is there knows why it is the case, because the cell lines are obsolete. Some of the lines are over 60 years old. The technology is outdated. You may even struggle to get some of the needed parts or tools to keep it running, because 60 years old, we've moved past that. Is well advanced, technology is well advanced. There are more modern technologies to run the place. So the investor is supposed to come and retool the entire place, remove the old obsolete lines, bring in new ones. Not only that, add an additional capacity of 100,000, moving the capacity, nameplate capacity, from 200,000 to 300,000 metric tons of aluminum per year. This is what we are looking for. So the investor is bringing that expansion, retooling, capital, and market reach, and the much needed expertise.
Have you had any interest yet?
Oh, of course. As of last year, we received about 13 expressions of interest. The minister set up a committee. The committee reviewed all the interest, made these recommendations. The JADEC board gave its approval. It was forwarded to the minister. The minister took it further for further approvals. Further approvals have been given. The minister has indicated that he wants to set up a government negotiation team to now engage with the selected investor for us to agree on definitive terms. These terms are going to cover the implementation phase, the timeline for implementation, the technology, the funding, the staff development, staff growth, among energy generation, among so many things. So the valuation of VALCO as it stands now, to know the actual value and as against how much they come to invest, to determine what government should get from what government stake could be. So we are yet to even go into the actual commercial terms. What has been done is just a selection for further conversation.
Selection out of the 13?
Yes, for further conversation.
So there's been a selection of one out of the 13?
Exactly.
Is that Mr. Ibrahim Mahama?
No, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has no interest in aluminium. And anybody who wants to be fair to the facts knows that he has no interest in aluminium.
So then where is it coming from? Because your workers seem to know that Mr. Mahama is the one that you're going to sell the company to.
I mean, because you see, it is a convenient lie. Let me just be blunt. It's a convenient lie, and I say it's convenient lie because I served Mr. Ibrahim Mahama as his lawyer until I took public office. I have been his lawyer for well about 8 years. I was his lawyer. I represented him in the Estin Cubic matter. So, and Mr. Ibrahim Mahama is the president's brother. So, of course, if you want to, they say, They say in she say eninya ano ehinenya. So if it touches Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, obviously to touch his brother. So people are looking for things that will stick. But this is not one of the things that can stick because Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has not expressed any interest in investing in VACO. He has no interest whatsoever. If you come, you can do an RTI request. There's not a single document from any company connected to him expressing interest to do anything with GIADEC. But it's a convenient lie because the moment you throw out the name of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, people can easily link it to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama because they are siblings and make mountains out of molehills. That's exactly what they are doing.
Are you able to, if it's possible, to share with us that one investor, or because you're still, going on with the terms?
Yes, because we are still in the initial stages and discussions. They have not given us the go ahead to disclose, put them. So we are able to disclose until we reach some definitive terms.
So, what do you believe? Some of your workers at VACO do not like you, or they just, as you say, it's a convenience lie to just taint you?
Oh, my brother, I'm human. I don't expect every human being to like me. As someone to say, I'm not ice cream, so I don't expect everybody to like me. So it will be foolhardy on my part to think that everybody likes me. No, but I'm not clairvoyant. I cannot tell what the motivation for people are, what the motivations are. But what I know is that whatever they are doing is born out of misinformation, is born out of mischief, and is calculated to stultify this particular process and ensure that VACO remains as it is. I don't know why people would want it that way, but that is what it appears from the outside, that people are against any attempt to revamp, modernize, and make VACO a very strategic national asset.
If you're able to finish up negotiations with this investor, have you already thought of the stake that you'd give to this investor? Because some of the reports say that you're planning on giving about 70% stake to that particular investor. In that case, the name of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama.
So, let's take the name of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama out of this conversation respectfully, because I have just informed you that he has no interest.
I was just saying, as the workers were saying during the protest.
Yes, I don't want us to even rehash the name because he's not involved. So it will be best for us to keep his name out of it.
But anyway, as you're looking for investors, and Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has the capacity to do that, would it be wrong to send a proposal to him? Would you want to try something like that?
No, you can't force someone to invest in what they are not interested in.
Okay.
Like I said, he is not interested. He has not shown any interest.
Okay.
So you can't force him.
Okay.
It was open, people brought their expressions of interest. I'm sure if he was interested in it, he would have done the same.
Okay.
But he's not interested. So he hasn't done that.
Okay.
Like I said, it is easier for people to get the news items or the sound bites they are getting if they throw his name out there. So it's like I said, it's just a mischievous attempt to get an unnecessary media attention from some quarters. That is all, because this is not the first time such a thing has been done. They started this somewhere in January 2026. But then they couldn't get the traction they were looking for. They started getting this traction the moment they threw out the name of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. Because, of course, once you throw out his name, you can easily connect it to his brother, and it takes a political turn or twist, and everybody gets involved. But that is exactly what they are doing. But I can confidently tell you that when it comes to VACO, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has not sent any expression of interest to GIADEC. He has not in any way shown interest in aluminium or VACO, and he is not interested in anything VACO.
Right.
That I can confidently assure you.
So the question about how much stake you'd want to give to an investor, what are we looking at?
So that will all be fleshing out based on out of the course of the negotiations, because we will have to look at what they are bringing on board generally. But if you look at the GIADEC law, it says that the states and the other local entities, the states, let me just put it that way, and Ghana must not have less than 30%. Because of this, almost all the proposals we received came with the investors requested for 70%. But now we have to sit and determine whether we'll give you 70 65, or whatever it is. So this will be determined in the course of the negotiations.
At Holdings Consortium, you know about that?
Yes, it was one of the companies that sent an expression of interest.
They didn't meet the requirements that we were looking for?
I'll just say it's one of the companies that sent the expression of interest.
Okay. Why is VALCO owing so much?
That is a question that genuinely you would have to ask the management and persons who have previously occupied the office of MD of VALCO, because these are legacy debts. And I don't think even the present MD himself inherited about 99% of that debt. So the best question will be thrown to those who did it. But if you look at it, I mean, if you do the breakdown, it is energy, rent, suppliers, among other things. That is what makes up the debt.
But GIADEC is what a supervisor in that sense of VALCO, right?
So this is what it is. GIADEC was established in 2018-2019 to promote and develop Ghana's integrated aluminum industry, which essentially means that we are supposed to promote the bauxite value addition. And to have a bauxite value addition chain, you need to have a bauxite mine, you need to have a bauxite refinery, and you need to have a smelter. So VALCO is a smelter, where the aluminum is made. And then you need to have downstream plants for rolling mills and other things to convert the aluminum into usable products by the consumers, for consumers. So it's a chain. VALCO is one of the faces of the chain.
So you definitely be interested in, I mean, so when I ask that and you say that I should ask the MD,
I'm coming back to them. And because of the role GIADEC is supposed to play within this sector, government of Ghana transferred all of its shares to GIADEC. And then taxed GIADEC to go out there and look for the investors, to turn VALCO around, to modernize it, to suit the purpose for which GIADEC was set up. Now, even though we are the shareholders, VALCO operates as a company. So when it comes to certain managerial decisions that have been taken in respect of at the company level, it will be best for the management of the company to answer to that. Now, secondly, when it comes to investment drive, bringing on board investors for purposes of equity seeding, there is a charge that will be led by the shareholder, and that is why we are leading it. Because
that's why you are leading it.
Yes, because we have to do an equity seeding transaction, capital in exchange for equity, and no other person holds the equity aside GIADEC. So GIADEC has to lead it, and GIADEC is not doing this alone; it's doing it in conjunction with relevant state agencies and ministries, including under the supervision of our sector minister, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
Okay. Has there been a meeting with the leadership of the workers who embarked on that strike? Have you met them?
There has been a meeting. The Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources have met them. Met them before they embarked on the strike and told them what is going to happen, and tried as much as possible to allay all the fears that they have. And yet, despite that good faith on the part of the minister, they still went ahead to demonstrate.
Oh, so after the demonstration, there's not been any form of communication with them?
No, sir. I think the demonstration was not directed at the ministry. They went to hand over a petition to the MCE of Tema. So I'm hoping
I saw be Brighton there. Yeah.
Yes. So maybe we are waiting when the MCE forwards a petition to the minister. Maybe the minister will take the steps. But until then, because it wasn't addressed to the minister, I don't think the minister has met anybody.
Okay, but for you in particular, how do you believe that this issue should be amicably resolved? Because the workers are crying out job security, and the other things, as you mentioned, it's not theirs to decide on. And so why not would yourself, as a leader of GIADEC, together with management of VALCO, meet the workers after they have protested to talk to them? That's not the situation.
See, it is a process.
Okay.
There are chronology of events that must happen. So you cannot put the cart before the horse. There is a plan to everything.
Okay.
Stakeholder engagement is part of the plan. Until you set up until you cross certain T's and dot certain I's, you can't jump to stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
So it is part of the plan. It is going to get there. But I think people are just being a little impatient. They can't wait.
How soon should we expect this decision on the investor?
Oh, that is a decision that has been taken by the ministry. So we are waiting for the ministry.
Okay, right. But just share with us some of the projects GERDEC is working on just before we go.
So GERDEC is working on. We are working on getting some. We are almost at the verge of concluding some partnerships for the construction of refineries for Ghana.
Okay.
And also trying to get some partnerships to start some mining, bauxite mining, and hopefully before end of year we should be able to announce some of these partnerships.
Okay. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Randolph Twumasi-Ankra is CEO for GERDEC, speaking to us. That he says that there's no issue in terms of what the workers of VALCO raised on Monday, that the allegations, or they know that VALCO is going to be sold to Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. He says that's not true. Himself, his company, none of them have shown interest of investing into VALCO. But there's a process ongoing, and they are just about to begin negotiations with a possible investor to help VALCO get back on its feet. Currently, they are owing about $400 million, and that's a lot of money. So there you have it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Lom Nuku Alija on the rulings from the Supreme Court. Two of them today, one on the OSP, and then one about the political parties. And we'll get into that conversation. And we'll speak to Dr. Palgrave Boachidankwa also on Wontumi and the other cases that he's been going to court for. Stay with us. This is Good Afternoon Ghana. We'll be back shortly.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
So, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky younger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 134 on GoTV.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference, Wahuni Diema on Maini Tumpong.
Welcome back from the break. We're getting on to Zoom. Dr. Pangri Bwachidankwa is on there, as we understand that there has been an appeal by Chairman Wontumi Anna Kuntamine appealing the 20-year sentence in the Summer Boy case. Doc, good afternoon. Thank you for your time. What are you appealing? What are you seeking in this particular appeal? Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc. Can you hear me? Hello, Doc. Okay, so we're working the lines to connect with Dr. Pangri Bwachidankwa. He is a spokesperson, to... The number you dialed. Okay, right. So we'll get that connected in a bit. But as we all know, on July 28th, that was when the ruling was given by Justice Audrey Kokuvite of the High Court's Criminal Division 4. And, well, no, that was actually July 20, where Chairman Wontumi has been sentenced to 20 years. And since that, there's been a lot of conversations. The party, the No Patriotic Party, had a press conference, said we're going to appeal. We know there's been visitations by the flag bearer of the party for the 2028 election. That's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, visited him at the prison. Also, executives from the Ashanti Regional branch of the NPP also went there to see him, and a lot of that has been going on. Also, he's been going to court on some other cases also, but we just wanted to understand briefly from Dr. Pangri Bwachidankwa what really they're seeking to do and how Bernard Nchibwe Chairman Wontumi is faring, and all of that. So we know that as he's being represented by Samuel Atachiah, they're arguing that the convictions are unreasonable and unsupported by the evidence presented during the trial, and they contend that the trial judge misinterpreted key provisions of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703 as amended. So we'll try and get to Dr. Pangri in a bit and speak to him. But still talking about the courts, there was another ruling today, and that ruling is that the Supreme Court has unanimously upheld the constitutionality of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That is OSP Act 2017 and Act 957, and but that was ruled out by the Attorney General. Right, so we have Lom Nuku Alija. He is a lecturer at the Gempa Faculty of Law. Thank you very much for your time always. We appreciate you making time for us here on the program. So just share with us what this means for the OSP and for the Attorney General.
Okay, so I think what we've started seeing is maybe if I say preliminary media reports on it. I understand that the Supreme Court is going to give detailed reasons subsequently by 5th of August or so.
Okay.
So when we receive the judgment, then we can know the full details. But at least from what we have started hearing, it looks like the suit that was brought, or the suits that were brought, challenging, the status or mandate of the OSP to prosecute cases under its act has been dismissed. So, as I said, we need to delve deeper into the reasoning to understand what the Supreme Court rationale for dismissing the matter was. But as it stands, what it means is that it reinforces the status and mandate of the OSP to continue with prosecutions, to continue with investigations, and to carry out the activities that is currently undertaking.
Okay, right. But with that, we also understand that the Attorney General still has the power to discontinue any case from the OSP if they deem not fit to continue with.
That is true because the Constitution of Ghana is clear in Article 88 that it is the Attorney General who has the power under the Constitution to initiate and defend all matters involving the state. And when it comes to criminal prosecutions, it is the Attorney General that has the power to do so, which means that any other body or authority that handles prosecutions does it at the instance of the Attorney General. So, regardless of what the OSP Act says, whatever authorization is given by the Attorney General and so on, at any point in time, the Attorney General reserves the right to intervene in any case that is being prosecuted because the mandate, the authority, the power and everything is given to the Attorney General under the Constitution. As we know, the OSP's powers emanate from a statute which is made pursuant to the Constitution. So the Constitution is the overriding provision. In other words, everything in the Act is subject to the Attorney General's powers. In fact, even when you look at the OSP Act itself, in several provisions, it starts with subject to the Constitution of Ghana, subject to the Constitution of Ghana. What that means in law is that whatever you are reading in that provision is subject to what the Constitution says on that matter. And as far as criminal prosecutions are concerned, it is the Attorney General who the Constitution authorizes. And every other person who handles prosecutions, like Ghana Police Service, SNIT, ECG, any of those institutions, they do so pursuant to the Attorney General's authorization.
Okay.
Because that's what the Constitution says, yes.
Okay, now let me take away the veil of you being a lawyer in my next question and speak to you as someone also engaged, in politics and current affairs, what happens in our space. So with this, earlier there were conversations about the OSP and the AG doing the same thing. How does this strengthen both sides, especially the OSP, to continue doing its work?
Okay, so even before the OSP Act came into force, as I've mentioned, there are other state institutions or bodies that have been authorized by the Attorney Generals over the years to handle prosecution. So I'm sure most Ghanaians are familiar with the fact that Ghana Police Service, for example, prosecutes certain offenses. I mentioned SNIT, for example. SNIT has authorization to prosecute persons who breach or violate the Pensions Act as far as payment of SNIT benefits to staff and so on are concerned. At one point, I know ECG also had authorization to prosecute people for defaulting or stealing power. There are Forestry Commission. There are many state institutions that have authorization to do prosecution. So it is not new as far as OSP is concerned. The only thing is that perhaps there's been a lot of, if I should say, cacophony around the whole OSP thing because it involves politicians generally, because we are talking about corruption and corruption-related cases. So there's a lot of focus or eyes on it. And also because when it was being pushed originally, there was a lot of debate around trying to create an independent authority from the Attorney General. So perhaps that's why there has been so much focus on the OSP's work. But the truth is that until the Constitution is amended, where it allows for another entity or body to have independent prosecutorial powers, every prosecuting institution, including the OSP and all the others, will always be subject to the Attorney General's power, because in the Constitution, it is only the Attorney General who has the power to initiate criminal prosecutions and Article 88.
Right. Lom, just a final one on another ruling that is going to have a massive impact in our political space. What do you make of that ruling? Opening up for every member of the party to be able to be part of any internal elections, as the ruling has been given.
Well, from a personal and professional point of view, I've written on this matter.
Okay.
The moment that I saw the original writ that was issued by Netanyahu Tamaklo and Prof. Mpombwati and Co., I wrote to support the position that they were advancing, simply because there are many levels of democracy and there are different levels of impact. But as it stands today, we see that the more people who are involved in the process, the better for deepening democracy generally. So I'm also of the view that opening it up is a solid way to deepen our democracy, rather than leaving it to a small or select group of people who essentially become the kingmakers. And we know the way in which those kingmakers over time have been conducting themselves or their affairs. Of course, there are pros and cons to every type of democratic process that you use. So, of course, this ruling allowing for all registered members to take part and so on will have its challenges and difficulties, obviously, in terms of the numbers, planning, the logistical aspects, and even the cost as well. However, I personally and professionally believe that it is always better for more people to take part in the democratic process than less. So deepening it in the way in which the Supreme Court has given its directive is really good, and I'm looking forward to reading the judgment in full. But as it stands today, based on what is being reported, I think that's a good decision, and it will help further improve democratic processes in the various parties.
Right. I mean, in the talk of, as we talk about this and how inclusive it will be for every member of the party to be part of the election, there's the conversation about how this ruling will stop the issue of votes buying and, just a select few and people, contestants, giving them this and that to entice them to vote for them. Would this really work with that?
So as I mentioned earlier, the overall cost may not necessarily go down.
Okay.
However, the impact in terms of buying of the votes, I think, will be impacted positively, because you see, if you have 500 delegates, for example, voting for a particular election, it's easier to induce them by trying to give them gifts of cash or products and so on and so forth. Now compare that to a situation where instead of 500 delegates, you have 20,000. You can't, if I should say, induce them in the same way that you'd have induced the 500. It means that there'd be greater emphasis on your message, selling yourself, your ideas, and what you intend to do for the communities, as against a select group of people who, that, look, even if I'm not doing anything for the community, once I can sort out these delegates and I win, that's all I need. Now you need to tell a more compelling story to a wider group of people, which increases the nuances of the conversation. Also, we know that most delegates generally are professional. They are professional politicians. They have been in the game for a long time. Yes. Some have been serving in various capacities over the years. Whereas when it is open, it is not necessarily politicians. They may be party members, but they may not be politicians in that sense. And their needs and their concerns might be different from what the professional politicians will be as delegates. So for me, it is one of those things where you will see that the cost may not necessarily go down. However, in terms of how to use it to induce people, will definitely be changed, because you can't pay 20,000 people the way you pay 500,000 people. But you can do what you need to do to send your message to 20,000 people and convince them by your ideas and what you intend to do, rather than through inducement. So for me, overall, I think it's a win for democracy, and I'm looking forward to reading that judgment in full.
Right. Thank you so much for your insights. The Lom Lukwalija is a lecturer at the Faculty of Law at GEMPA. And that's wrapping up the show. We earlier were supposed to speak to Dr. Pagribachi Danko. Unfortunately, we couldn't connect with him, but kudos to all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. To our guests who came in and also joined us via Zoom, thank you for your time here. As we wrap up on the show, today is the birthday of my brother, my little brother Ernest Ananedan. So happy birthday to you, 25 today. Enjoy it. God bless you as you celebrate your birthday. And that's it for the show today. My name is Desmond Okreku-Danso. This has been Good Afternoon Ghana. Log on to www.metrotvonline.com for more news. Bye-bye.
And SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, Friday 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference, Wahuni Diema on Mine Tumpong.
Are you ready to go on an adventure across Africa with your favorite twins? Yes, that's right. Nuzo and Namia are back. Join them on curious adventures full of wonder and discovery, unexpected friendships, big feelings, and stories that unlock the power of imagination. And for parents, every episode helps your children build literacy, comprehension, emotional learning, and confidence through storytelling they love. So come dream bigger, laugh louder, and explore a world of wonder with Nuzo and Namia. Find your nearest station and showtimes now at nuzoandnamia.com. Bye.